improv, anything you want to create a story with, whether it's a little scene that's going to last for 5 minutes or a novel, there are some basic things. There is the who are you? What is your relationship? So that could be classified as a, to or a what. But who are you? What's your relationship? Where are you? And why are you? I mean, what's happening there? And then, of course, what you want to have is a problem that you overcome. So the basic ways to do that, you want to establish everything, especially with improv, thank you so much. You want to establish everything in improv as fast as possible. So it's like, sis, I haven't seen you in years. Okay, you got the who, I'm so sorry, your child was born with 2 heads.
Oh,
We
yeah.
got a problem. I rushed to this hospital as soon as possible. So we got it all, right away. All you have to do is agree with me. And that's the big rule of improv. Always agree with everything. No matter what. The person has said something, you think, you just ruined the scene. That's such a stupid suggestion. No. Yes. And you build on it. And that's what creates the momentum. Because as soon as you say no to someone, even if it's no but, so that's the basic rule of going forward. And that can work with stories too. That yes and. So that's a big one. And, okay, I'm going to start off with a very simple game. And could you sit up here, do you mind? Because I'm going to throw things at you. Really? Yeah.
Yeah, go on and sit up there.
You brought little grandma head to throw.
Yeah,
I find a ball, so I thought grandma will work just fine. Grandma doesn't know I took her head, actually.
Please
But
do not take my coffee when you throw things.
okay, I'll give you some warning, and I'll say get your copy in there. I won't start right away. So first, what I'd like to do, just to get to know you, and to me, we're going to pretend we're in a circle, and because we're not. Do a circle. Okay, we will do a circle because it's better.
This gets too complicated.
No, we're not. It'll help with Marvin. That's why I'm here.
I'm gonna help you, Laura.
Only here because it sounded like fun.
It is fun. It is fun. You gotta have fun. Circles are fun.
More chair?
Yeah. Circles are
Way more fun than square.
One other more chair. One other more chair. Okay, please, everybody join circle. Yeah, Venus.
I'm trying to pay my tools that I didn't have an easy pass for before I ended up in trouble.
Okay. So, first thing we do, once we get in our circle, is we're going to say, you're going to say, I'm going to start. Say a name and an adjective that in some way is you. It can be anything. It can be blue. It can be cat. It can be pasta. It doesn't matter what.
Say our name. Our name.
And then what you're going to do is you're going to say my name and my adjective, your name and your adjective. You're going to say my name and my adjective, her name and her adjective. And are you joining? Okay. Okay. Awesome. So I'm going to say my name and an adjective or a noun. It can be a noun up here. It can be table if table describes your building if you're in buildings. Or a costume. But anything. It could be a color, it could be a pasta, it could be emotion, it could be miserable, it could be exhausted, it could be tolls.
So we have to remember all or just the person
Yes.
in front of us?
So I say my name and my adjective, you say my name and my adjective, and then your name and your adjective. You say just be glad there aren't 20 in here. That's how you say my name and my adjective, her name and her adjective, your name and your adjective, all the way around.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So Elizabeth, curiosity.
Okay, Elizabeth, curiosity, Lee, uppity.
Elizabeth, curiosity, Lee, uppity, Ian, sleepy.
Elizabeth, curiosity, Lee, uppity, Ian, sleepy, Gloria, frustrated.
Elizabeth, curiosity. Lee, uppity. Ian, sleepy. Gloria, I don't remember. Frustrated.
I need to pay this stupid bill before I get a fine.
Rosemary, happy.
Oh. So, Elizabeth, curiosity. Lee, uppity. Ian, I'm sorry. Ian, sleepy. Rosemary. Oh God, see how well I'm doing this? Gloria, frustrated. And Rosemary is happy. And somebody is joining us. Hi. Come on down. Take a
Another
seat.
chair coming.
Pre-presentation
She's gonna-
discussion?
Yeah, we're
Improv class.
Huh?
Improv class.
Oh, you have class here before 10?
Yes.
Yes,
But you want me to leave?
You can
you
join
can
us.
join us.
I can listen and enjoy your conversation.
No, probably leave then, because I don't want any, like, I'd rather have nobody have feeling like people
Okay,
are watching.
well, I'll join you then because I want to be in the front.
Okay.
So do I.
Join us.
For the 10 o'clock meeting.
I can't imagine why you would need to be for another gym discussion about resident files, but.
I like that So this is the same reason that I want to.
Please join our circle.
But I get bids on the front row.
But do what I did.
Put your bag there, wherever you want to put your
Well, I got
bag.
Bob
put
in
your
my
bag.
bag. Mark
Oh.
here.
Okay, we're gonna
So
try.
Bob.
Put you on.
No, I don't think he'll mind. He's good. Quiet right now.
Okay, so we're introducing ourselves. We're going around with names and we'll do it this way.
Awesome, do it again.
Yep, Elizabeth, curiosity.
Rosemary, happy. Elizabeth, curiosity, Rosemary, happy. Elizabeth, curiosity, Rosemary, happy. Gloria, frustrated.
Elizabeth, curiosity. Rosemary, happy. Gloria, frustrated. Ian, sleepy.
So Elizabeth, curiosity, Rosemary is happy. Gloria is frustrated. Ian is sleepy, and Lee is hungry.
Sandra won't remember. Elizabeth. Curiosity. Rosemary's happy. Gloria is frustrated. Ian is sleepy. And Lee, gloriously long hair, is uppity with, oh, well, you have every right to be uppity. And I'm Sandra, and what did I say I was?
You didn't get it yet.
Excited.
Excited, great. Now, usually I would continue this with throwing and doing the names, so you go all around, but I won't because we are short of time and that's how it is. So what I'm going to do is to take 3 wonderful volunteers. Thank you.
Sure. Do I have to stand up and abandon my coffee?
You can take your coffee and you can sit on stage.
Are we on chairs?
Yes.
Okay.
Ah, excellent. And you are our studio audience, so you can come sit here. Okay. Oh, you got a chair, that's all.
Studio
Oh, you're the leader.
I'm the engineer.
All right.
So, this is the world's leading expert on
The Dresden Files.
the Dresden Files. Okay, well, you all should have said nothing by
He's
now.
actually here, so not leading, but maybe second.
So, and probably a few other things. In fact, there are the leading expert on everything you've ever wanted to know about anything. So you can ask them any question you want. Now, you are one person. You are Mr., Mrs., Ms. Know-it-all. You are Ms. Know-it-all. You're Dr. Know-it-all. And in fact, so when they ask a question, like what is your name, you will say, my name is
Cerebus.
Great.
Doctor. Cerebus, since we
and
Know-it-all,
stuff.
yes.
Do you have a question for Dr. Know-it-all? Any question?
Where's the series going to end?
Where is the series going to end? It
Will end
very
dramatically with
a
apocalyptic trilogy
comma.
set in the
Future. Okay, everything.
Well, I would have. Well, will Harry ever get married?
maybe if he finds the
Wrong.
wizard and
Then
fixes
it.
period.
So there you have it. It's like a classic dysfunctional relationship for Harry. Another question? What's the meaning of life? I've always wondered that one. The
42.
42. I'm 47.
42.
42, I think.
I'm pretty sure it's 47. It's 42.
It's 47 in mine, because I add 5. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yeah, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Oh, come on, there you go. Is that a third person? Wandering in? In the back?
For me.
Yes?
I was just coming in to see what was going on.
Great.
Is that okay?
3 more people.
Join the fun. Sure, then why not?
You're in the studio audience, and you are the new victims. You are new, excited, wonderful Mr. Know-it-all. So what you guys are is a single person, 1 word each. Don't plan your word, obviously, pay attention to what's said. And this is the amazing know-it-all. And what are they an expert on?
You said everything.
Everything, okay. What's the question?
Who made the Washington Monument so tall?
Who made the Washington Monument so tall?
Start something.
The.
Patriot.
One word? You.
The Patriot, you.
Who.
Was.
Destroyed.
In.
The.
Great.
War. I got it.
And another question for our audience?
What's going to wipe out mankind?
What is going to wipe out mankind?
We.
Will.
Go.
To.
The.
Stars.
And.
Fight.
Alien.
Beings.
Intelligence.
And
Cry.
because.
We.
Are.
Hostile.
And.
Should.
Be.
Working.
On.
Exterminating.
Them.
And I guess we failed. That seems to be the consensus here. Okay, and we're depressed about it. Another question?
Will I ever get this toll paid?
Will she ever get this toll paid?
No. Okay.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, worth a shot.
Thank you very much. Now, we're going to get the circle again. Back into the circle.
I'm still there paying
You
the
went to
toll.
down the
Then
house.
I'm almost there.
She's almost paying the toll. Okay. I don't know, you didn't listen to Ms. Know-it-all or Ms. Know-it-all.
What's the date today?
24th.
24th.
Yeah, if you'd rather sit there, that's fine too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want
Oh,
to,
there's enough chairs?
yeah, there are enough chairs.
Sure.
There are enough chairs, but it just needs, so. You guys are an ad agency. And, you are going to be given a product. You have to decide all the things that go into a product. So, who is your group that you're marketing to? Is it teens, is it old people, is it everyone? What?
Menopausal women.
What?
Menopausal women.
Menopausal, okay, that would come out. That's gonna come out, but menopausal women would be fine. So, what the product is, who are you gonna market it to? How are you gonna package it? Where are you gonna sell it? How are you gonna advertise it? Could be anything. And that's a pretty good start, right? And who, if anything, is you're going to be your spokesman, and I want you to come up with a jingle for it. Now, the way we do this is you're just going to go around and start off, and I don't care how stupid the idea is. The idea could be, we're going to menopausal lollipops when women get frustrated, so they can chew them. Next person is going to say, yes, and I don't care if you hate the idea, I don't care if you get the stupidest idea, everybody's going to say, yes, and we'll get George Clooney as our spokesperson. Say, yes, and George Clooney will be dressed to drag. Yes, and we'll have him in traveling to all the Walgreens throughout the community. Yes, and so that's what you wanna do. I don't care how dumb. I don't care. You know, it's always yes and the excitement builds because that's the greatest idea you've ever heard in your life. She's skeptical, I can tell. You're feeling skeptical. She went from
As to whether I can do that.
you can definitely do it. Yes, and because it can be simple. If your mind is blank, you don't worry about it. Yes, and we'll color it pink. You know, it can be simple. Don't freak about what you're saying. Just start with a yes and push it on. Anything. You know, yes, and it'll be strawberry flavored, and it'll clean your teeth, and it'll wash your floor. It doesn't matter.
I don't know, team, I think our job's done.
Yeah, I know.
I've done another project.
Well, definitely we have another product. Ms. Toll, you have a product for us.
For premenopausal?
No, anything.
Anything.
Okay, for,
They can figure out who they'll market it to.
all right, for underweight basketball players.
For underweight basketball players. Okay, team, we've got this great product for underweight basketball players. And I'd like you to come up with a marketing plan for it. So what is it?
It's awesome, it's leg weights.
Okay, yes, and it's like,
Yes, and it's leg weights.
Ooh, yes. And what we can do is have it shaped like their legs themselves.
Yes, and we're gonna make them bright colors.
Yes, so it'll attract the cats.
Oh, yes, and we will have audio on it.
Yeah, and I think we need to have little, like, retro rockets so they can have some maneuverability.
Yes, with the audio and the retro rockets, then we can have them flying around and soaring over everyone else. So they can slam dunk, and they can sound like they're huge and thundering on the court.
Yes, and we will get Kareem Jabul, whatever his name is. Should have picked an easier one. And he'll market it. He'll take it to all the stores.
Yes, and we can sell it at any store, even Home Depot.
and we can package it. Yes, and. Yes, and.
Oh, yes, and
We can package it in like medium-sized packages in the sporting goods stores and in colors to make it really stand out.
Yes, and we can have like a little coupon to spend 15 minutes with during that village bar.
If anyone would want to.
Yes. And when they're spending the 15 minutes with Green Up Village Bar, then they can have a one-on-one challenge.
Yes, and whoever wins gets a free trip.
Yes, to a spa where they learn nutrition to help them gain weight.
Yes, and, yes, and the packaging can be something that, I'm not writing this.
Is black and white, like your outfit, as well as bright colors.
Well, black and white would sell better than bright colors, probably.
Yes, and
Yes, and we can have some of the packages in black and white because that sells better.
yes, and we need a jingle.
Yes,
Oh boy, and heavy weights on my choo-choo legs.
Yes. And in the jingle, my powers will rise. They'll power my thighs.
I'm playing now, I've given up on this until I end up on my life.
I'm out.
Okay, but that was great.
Yes.
That was great. Good work. Okay. So, what I want us to do next is not technically a video game, but it's very cool. And if you are a writer or a creator, this is a way to make your character real. I guarantee it. I've used it in writing as well. Look at yourself, or you might not need to. Find a scar on your body. And we're going to say how we got that scar. Now, the scar will tell you a lot about yourself. Did you get it when you were a little kid? Did you get it because you were climbing mountains? Tell you if you're adventurous. And if you have lived to our age and don't have any scars on your body, that tells us. And I have a villain like that in my book, no scars, except ones with baptismal liquid hair. So you already know a lot about him, right? Baptismal. So that's it, really. So I'm going to start with my very cool leg scar here. I got it because I was on a beach in Mexico on a New Year's Eve party. Inebriated, shall we say? And I'm an athlete, so I was doing backflips on the beach. Thinking it was great fun until the 10th when I pushed up in the sand gave way and I tore my ACL. Ow. And it was painful, but I still danced that night, lived with it for 2 years, and then when I was going skiing, a doctor said, no, you're going to blow it out totally. And I was like, but I can still do stuff, I'm okay. So finally I did do my ACL surgery. That was my scar.
I have a permanent bump on my head from where my mom threw me down the stairs.
Wow.
I was a small child, I was 18 months. And it deteriorated from there. We are not on school.
Oh, wow. See, that's the beginning of the story, or the backstory.
I actually have a very small scar on my chin. Years ago, I used to play ice hockey, and we were having this intense rivalry during one of our playoff games. I had just picked up the puck around the corner, and one of these guys, a foot taller than me, just huge and built, just was coming up running by, just gonna lay right into me. I looked up, got my pass off, got myself sitting against the boards, and he came up high, hit me, but he's the one who went down on the ice.
That's right on the scar, right?
He got me good, but I dropped him.
Did you stay pain after that?
Yes, I had to go off the ice for a couple minutes just to get a little Band-Aid on there, and let's be able to keep going just fine.
I have a scar on my knee because back when I was younger and you would go out and go skating, we had these metal skates that you used, and they weren't worth anything. Everywhere you went, you fell down. But then you kept getting up and you'd skate some more, and you'd fall down the cement, and you keep doing that, and it just showed me that you just get back up every time you fell down, and you just still have fun.
You've got, well, that's the whole story, that's the lesson story. We've got a triumph story, we've got a tragedy, you know, tragic family background, and we've got perseverance.
Yes.
And we've got stability.
I have a ton of scars, none of them are very interesting, but
I have 2 scars. The first time I was pregnant with twins, I was in labor for 40 hours. And they decided one of my twins went into distress, and so I went into emergency C-section. And then the second one right on top of it was I was in labor for all of 90 minutes, and they said, your uterus is about to rupture from your first pregnancy. So once again, rushed off into emergency surgery, emergency C-section. So 2 emergency C-sections.
And 3 kids.
And 3 kids.
Wow.
I have an appendectomy scar on my abdomen, and the story behind that is that when I was 16, I kept getting attacks of pain in my stomach, and my doctor in his wisdom told my mother that they were colon attacks and that I could have no emotions. I was 16. You know, that's going to work out, right? You know, an ending to that story. So then I went with my grandparents to my uncle's house in Buffalo, which was like 600 miles away. And I had an attack. Same thing, wrong place for the appendix, same attack. They called in, my uncle called in his country doctor. Country doctor came in, went, she has appendicitis. She doesn't get better by morning. I'm taking it out right here. And that was that. This would have been a year and a half with all kinds of other doctors and tests and x-rays and blah, blah, blah. So I got better, so I could go home and have it out, and rode in the back seat for 600 miles in appendicitis pain. And got it out the next day.
Wow.
Yeah. And I had to go to Children's Hospital, which was a whole other story, because I was 16 and no one else was. And that was fun, actually.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
So that's a good one.
that was fun.
Good ending.
I learned never to trust a doctor.
Yeah, that's another very, that's a very useful lesson.
It was, extremely.
So I'm another one with a scar on her knee, and I am not an athlete, but I did join the walking club at work, and where I was working at the time had kind of a park area with pathways, because it was an industrial complex, so mine was one of several companies in it, and they had these really pretty walkways. And I had joined the walking group, and we're walking along on, it's a gravel path. And I slipped and fell, which clearly I do, and sliced open the knee, and it was like bleeding like crazy. And so the leader of the group puts me in the car and rushes me to the doctor, and I think I ended up with like 10 or 11 stitches. And a story to tell, although not a very interesting one. But that story can be repeated several times for other places where I was in class, you know.
Did you cut it on something?
Well, it was gravel, and there was like flagstones in the middle, and I think I hit the flagstone, so that's what sliced it. So it was like this piece of dangling skin thing. And yeah, I think it was 11 stitches. And I have scars.
See, the interesting thing that tells me is like most people would fall on gravel and just be like, what? And then it's like, no, you must be like cursed.
Oh, no, I mean, that's really, because like, for this, I was just walking on a sidewalk that alternates between concrete and stamped concrete, where I've walked a bazillion times before, because it's the Vaughn Shopping Center down the street from my house. And I wasn't thinking, and the only thing I figured is I stepped on the transition point between regular concrete and stamped concrete. and turned my ankle and ended up on the deck. I have a skin knee, skin elbow, and I cracked the bone in my foot. No, I'm klutz. I've done these carrier qual falls on the streets of London. I mean, you name it, I've fallen there.
And also, if you want to build a story on it, a sci-fi story, you've got an open wound, who knows what gets in it and what it does to your body. That's what my mind.
You're like the invasion of the body snatchers.
Right, invasion of the body snatchers. I just did a story where a guy, Paul goes and they rose and you know those ants that have that fungus that attacks them, turns them into zombie ants, and they roll up the stalk. So it's that kind of thing. So it turns positive. It's a positive.
You say so. That sounds awesome.
It causes, it's orchids are dying out, it causes them to plant orchids all over. There is this guy who plants orchids all over in Sherman Oaks, and Larry Herschel actually was showing me that. And I said, that gives me an idea. It's like there's this sort of like fire department in this area. Plants orchids. Okay, I want
Since I've given up on trying to make
Okay, no wall.
so you're more or less in a lunge.
Can we pause for a moment and go over the purposes of some of these exercises?
Sure. Purpose of yes and
Yes.
is clear, right? If you're building a scene, if you're a LARP player, if you're building a story, even if you're talking to people, really, agreement will build that momentum, that relationship. Say no stops it, you know. We'll have Kareem Abdul-Jabbar as our, I still don't, I don't see it right here, huh? As our spokesperson. You say no. That stops it, even if it's no, but you negated her idea. So if you're building anything, I don't know how many of you are writers, any of you writers?
Occasionally, not fiction.
And LARP people,
Occasionally.
That's right.
and you're because you're a Dresden fan, or?
I'm a fan.
You're a fan.
Fan.
That's
Okay.
the reason I'm.
It's a fan-based thing, anyway. Yeah. And my real good friend that we're in a guild together, my very good friend, is 2 blocks away at the Oregon convention. So he said, here's the link. You come through. And well, that's the same day and weekend that Wyrd. I gotta go and see what's Wyrd con. And she said, Butcher was here. So that did it.
So you are a Jim
And Butcher's here almost.
Okay, so these theater games are basically to provide you with a building block to build scenes, to build characters. Also very useful if you're ever doing public speaking, because it breaks your fear of that, because you're used to just getting up and doing whatever and making a fool of yourself. I obviously am not in this 1 hour thing going to have time to, I'm trying to, okay. But Mr. Know-It-All. It's a very useful technique, and you'll probably see it in Story later, where you start a story. I think Todd is going to do that. And they start a story. And one of the big things is, even with a one-word thing, you will sometimes want to have a word in your head. Okay, gets to me, I'm going to say because, I'm going to say because. Well, because might make no sense. So you can have ideas in your head, but you have to totally focus and listen to that other person. So when they end that sentence, you can just pick it up with whatever, because we know English well enough to know what's a logical next word, and then you just spout from there. That's very useful for that kind of thing. And scene building, once again, which is in LARP. I mean, a lot of people here are into the LARP thing. That's what, yeah. So, and part of it is you get these characters, but it's really useful to have some acting background to give life cure characters. If you're a writer or creating a scene, once again, same, a scar, or even if you're talking in front of an audience about anything, making yourself human and likable is a very good quality. And a scar, not only does it reveal something about yourself, I mean, we can all tell something about our backgrounds right now, and probably who we are just from that little scar story. So it's details like that that help. It's like if you're writing, I mean, somebody else would say, I have never read so many pages with these rooms that don't smell like anything. I mean, there are certain things that will make something real. Smell, sound, all the senses, you know, and of course metaphors. So,
no, I actually wanted us to go over the purposes of why we're doing these exercises, to know the reasons behind, you know, how they affect storytelling and what we can do for that.
right.
These are very simple games that come up in improvisation and really help to kind of just both clarify your mind, get you also free associating and figuring out, and just listening where the story is going to go.
Right. And, I mean, something I do when I'm performing or anything is, not only but I was going to have you do that, but I could tell that it wasn't going to work, so I gave it up. But get your body energized, because, I mean, if you're on stage, you know, it's like, especially if you're not doing well on stage, if you start moving fast and energized, well, these people are interested because you're moving so fast.
So I have a question as a movie or storytelling, whatever, but like I was trying to figure out how to apply this to marketing. How do you use that to get, like you're saying, it's like, you're right, and I totally hear what you're saying, it's like you need to find out the who and where and the why and all this. If you have not much to go on, how do you, a lot of LARPing is like they just say, okay, you're this character and you have to go to that place and accomplish this task, but this thing's in your way. You don't know why, you don't know the how. It's like, how do you use that improv like tool set to get the information that you
Okay, there's a game called Who Am I?
Right.
Which can be used on stage, but it's a great exercise. You actor gets a piece of paper. No, he doesn't get it. Everybody else knows who this actor is. Actor comes on stage, has to figure it out, like what's his profession. So you might come in, so I might be a physicist, but I might come in and say, pizza, here's your pizza. Oh, thanks for bringing me a pizza, you know, so I know, okay, I'm not a pizza delivery man. You know, oh, that's a spot on your shirt, I think we can get out. And you say, really? You know how to do laundry? Okay, I know I'm not a, so you can ask questions to limit, you know, to start. So ask questions, make assumptions, and because they can always sort of steer you in the right way. So, you know, maybe have a headlamp, you know. Do I need, my gosh, it's sort of dim in here. I'm not sure my eyes have been bad lately. Do you think I need my headlamp on? No. Okay, I'm not in a cave. I mean, it's so anything you can grasp on that way can happen.
So I have a different question. So I was in the storytelling contest last night. Well, I didn't do that well. I didn't really expect to do that well, but you know, it was fun. But one thing, it was timed, meaning I had to get my story done in a certain amount of time, and I did, but my ending was rushed. Not because I didn't have time, I think I could have done it better, but I was aware of the time and it was distracting. And as a result, my ending wasn't as effective as it could have been. How do you gauge how long things are and not have the person putting the time up distracting you?
That's a really good question, because if you ever do any, like, you know the Moth podcast, it's 5-minute true stories from your life, and you've got 5 minutes, you know, and they give you the warning. The best way to do that is to rehearse and time yourself. And rehearse and time yourself. And what I do when I'm telling stories is I try and come in short. So if I have 5 minutes, I want the story to be 3. Because then I get a time and not worry. I know I've got those 2 extra minutes. So if you have a 5-minute story, you do not want it to come in at 5 or say 6, and maybe you'll rush it, because it's much better to take your time. I mean, you could have the greatest story in the world, but if you're just doing it like this, and it's much better to use emotion, you know, in your story. Now, and that can be a thing with LARP too. Emotions are really good, and there are, you know, 2 acting schools of emotions, right? One is to tap into your past and wrench up your past. And it's funny if you're just to change your physical act, you know. Work it right now, right? All you have to do is change your volume, change your, right? And that portrays that, and that's going to be an effective tool.
Yeah, it comes in as tone, expression, body language, and when you're on stage, you're able to communicate a lot more of that, as opposed to even just the word. You know, just a part of human nature is we express, and every time much more of that comes in as to what we're expressing as opposed to what we're saying.
And then, of course, your physical body, how you present your physical act.
Is there a way to get comfortable doing that? Or is it just
Toastmasters.
Yeah. Practice.
Alcoholics.
Great story.
Oh, I see.
But yeah, just practice, you know, think of how the queen would present herself and do it in front. There's exercise I really like. Let's try this one. Stand up. 5 minutes. 5 minutes, okay, I'm hoping I'll stand up and turn away from each other, so none of you are looking at me. And close your eyes. Okay, now, an elevator has just opened. There are 500 floors of this building. And this is a slow elevator, but it's a non-stop elevator. And you have to go to the 500th floor. The doors open, you walk in, the doors close, and you realize you are all alone in this elevator for 500 floors. So you can do anything you want. Nobody can see you. You can sing, you can make faces, you can move as much as you can move in an elevator. So let's see some elevators. I suggest we all start singing at once. Sing your favorite song as loud as you can.
Singing in the
Singing in the rain.
rain, I'm singing
I'm
in
not
the
singing the
rain.
rain. I'm singing a Beatles song, but I can't think of a Beatles song, so I'll just and we reach the 500th floor. That's a good way to loosen yourself up. Okay. And I think we have time for one more. Sit down in your seats. Okay, give me an emotion. Here.
English.
Joy.
Ennui.
Okay.
Oh, man, excitement.
Okay. Take a second and think about a sound that exemplifies your emotion. Everybody got one? Okay. Now, we are doing an emotional concerto. When I point to you, you will make it sit right. When I go up, you will. Very good. Now you can do this. What time is it?
Good.
It's like 3 minutes too.
Okay. You can also do this with radio stations. So you should give me a radio station.
NPR.
Rock.
Classic rock.
Oh, that, yes.
So, but you do the same thing, and you can get really good at it each try and connect it like a story, so it's like, okay, I love you, and President Obama said to it. Yeah. So that's another way to do it as a smooth group thing. It can be a lot of fun. And I think is that all we have time for?
Thank you very much.
Thank you. That was fun. Good.
You still do stand-up? What? You still do stand-up?
Well, I do stand up from my first book, which is Dirk Quigley's Guide to the Afterlife. All you need to know to choose right heaven. It's about a guy who takes a class on the afterlife and tell my history. It's like global warming and overcrowding, Tokyo on a hot day, and it's really hard to compete with. So I want more people to go to heaven, and this is the deal. You can keep your soul, but just go back there, he's a copyright. And so just write me as a guide to the afterlives, all the different afterlives, so the 5-star rating for food, drink, music, and accommodations, and then your requirements. And so in my stand-up thing, I play the devil that I'm selling the audience. So these advertising all over the world. Very cool. Sure to get me a copyright. But yeah, it's really good.
Where do they go?
Zagat got into the religions. That's cute.
Yeah.
You rate the food?
Yeah, right.